Hello everyone, Mekkah here, and welcome back to Don's Fire Emblem 7 Hector Hard Mode 0% Gross Playthrough, Chapter 28, Battle Before Dawn. And I'm once again joined by a guest commentator because Don hates defend and survive maps, and this time that guest is Irysa.
Hello, I'm happy to be here. This is, even though I'm definitely not a big fan of this chapter either, it's fun to talk about silly chapters like this.
It's been a while. So yeah, Battle Before Dawn. I think this chapter is probably the most notorious chapter in all of FE7 for especially casual players because they just end up seeing a lot of death through, something that doesn't seem to be their fault. There's like 3 NPCs in this chapter that could just die completely out of your control. Well, that's what it seems like. Donna obviously is going to make it look like it's very easy and you're just, I don't know, you should just play better, get good, I guess. But, I mean, he has that effect on everyone in every chapter, but this chapter especially, I'm very impressed by this one. I'm not seeing this for the first time, Irysa is though, and I can't wait to see his reaction.
Yeah,
what is your experience like with Battle Before Dawn?
Well, I mean, my thing with Battle Before Dawn is that, I used to, hate it because I was like, oh, Jaffar dies or saving Zephiel is annoying, but then, the better I got at the game, the more annoyed I just got at the 1% crit the monk has on Nino, because, actually saving Jaffar and Zephiel isn't really that bad, I think. But I really hate that crit on the monk. That's really annoying. Because even if you go as fast as possible, sometimes you can just get screwed by that.
Yeah, Donna doesn't care about that crit though. In fact, he's like, alright. He's like, alright. Devil Axe time.
Yeah, I have to interrupt. Harken is using a Devil Axe, on generics that he could just murder with, an iron sword right now. And I'm like, okay, I get you have to, grind weapon experience, but, come on, what the hell? I guess it's the first action of the match.
You're like, oh no, this monk has 1% crit. Donna's like, haha, Devil Axe go brrr. Yeah. Yeah, that's when I saw that I had the exact same reaction too. I think he just really wants S-rank axes for Kaga Destiny, and he has to get from B to S, which is quite a lot. I'm still surprised he was willing to use the Devil Axe, because this is not the last time he's using it either.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Devil Axe is absolutely ginormous for XP, so I understand.
Yeah, it's 8 weapon XP, I believe, and if you kill, you get double, and if you double and kill, you get triple, basically. I think he just O-coded that guy, so that was 16 in one go. It's also worth noting that Harken got, I believe, a Speedwing and a Goddess icon, if I'm not wrong. That is for some very specific bosses that come up later, I believe. It's not going to really show in this chapter, but it is worth noting that he does get those stat boosters. We haven't really had the chance to talk about Harken at all, actually, because we recruited him very late in the last chapter. So my idea with Harken is always sure, he comes very late, but when you get him, you're just so happy because he's so ridiculously strong, especially in 0% growths, where you don't have super good combat units. You have units that get by, units that are pretty good, like Pent, but Harken feels on another level. And I remember when I got him in negative growth, I was like, Jesus, I forgot just how good his strength and speed are. You can join with cap strength, I believe. He's super fucking insane.
Yeah, Harken is really powerful, but the thing is that actually his stats are a bit overkill for most of the enemies, so he's only actually particularly good against bosses, I find. Or, I guess the Valkyries and Cog too, but yeah.
Yeah, another Devil Axe, just for you. Yeah. just to get him out of the way.
I mean, he is one-shotting with these at least, so the chance is is less bad than doubling with it, right?
Yeah, he is some enemies are you have to double and hit 2 hand axes to kill some enemies. Harken's alright, I'm just gonna one-shot this mage using a hand axe, so there's no chance I'm gonna fail. So I'm sure Donna's a fan of that reliability. Another thing I noticed when I first saw this chapter that we gotta address is people usually say we have to rush to save Jaffar and Zephiel. I'm just gotta go fast to split my team up. Then I was alright, I'm gonna split my team up. I'm gonna send everyone to the right, and then Marcus can just take care of the left all by himself.
Yeah. No, this is actually kind of what I do as well, because I think that, because I hate going to the left because I hate Maxine, because he's annoying. I'm actually a little bit scared for Marcus, because Maxine's very strong. I don't know if he's gonna try and skip him or something.
Yeah, Maxine is ridiculously powerful. I guess it's a good time to talk about his stats a little bit, so let me see if I remember this right. So most enemies in FE7, they just alright, we have our bases, and then we have our class growth, so we just level up with those. And Hector Hard Mode, we get 5 extra levels of class growths. That's how most enemies are generated. Bosses, the way they usually work, I believe, is, alright, we have set stats. Other stats are always on normal mode. And then on hard mode, we get 5 extra class bonus stats. So they're a little more powerful in Hector Hard Mode.
Yeah.
Maxine is alright, I'm just gonna take both. So I'm leveled up from a level 1 Cavalier all the way to whatever level Paladin he is. And then that's on top of the bases that I'm already given by the game, and I get Hector Hard Mode bonuses, so he gets bonker stats.
Yeah, it's the same as Fargus in why Fargus gets ridiculous stats in 17X, but you don't have to kill Fargus, so you don't care. But in this map, Maxine is actually kind of insane. He's got like Harken tier stats.
Yeah, I remember I had to kill him with Harken in my negative close playthrough because he's the only character that could really take a hit. And then, like, speaking of rushing down to save people, I get the feeling Donna's not even, like, particularly being fast on the right side either, because I think he's carrying Bartre around with Priscilla, of all people. Like,
we still need to get him some levels.
Yeah, this is a good chapter for Bartre to get some levels. Pretty much every chapter where we're not in a hurry is a good one for Bartre. He was trained in 25, 26. Sands of Time is going to be another good training chapter for them, and this is just another one of them. Apparently, Marcus can still one-out enemies this late in the game. Does this guy ever fall off, man?
Steel Axe fighters are not known for their speed.
I know, right? I enjoy Nino being trapped by this monk and just having no possibility of escape, because I remember her running away from that spot and just getting murdered by Ursula, who has bolting and is standing in the bottom right corner. It's so unfair. Jaffar, I think, has like usually pretty good survival chances. He actually gets really lucky for Nod by dodging almost everything.
Yeah, now he's just like writing stuff as a result. Like, this is usually the part where he starts to get hit a bit more because now the fighters are all gone, and then it's just like mages and archers and shit. But... yeah,
I think sometimes he faces like Swordreaver fighters, and those can definitely hit him hard, but the fighter he fights at first in turn 1, for example, is like a steel axe, so he's not a big problem.
Look all combat! Look all combat! He just killed a mage!
Look all combat alert, combat alert. Yeah. And then I think the way that Jaffar can get screwed over is like, one, you can just run out of killing edges if you take too long to get to him, so he just stands there doing nothing. You can also just get hit a lot, and then the timing can be kind of poor for him. Like, he can get hit to low HP, and then, but like not low enough to where he heals. I think that's like halfway through his HP. And then he just doesn't heal himself, then he gets hit a lot by like a sniper and a bunch of other stuff, and then he just dies miserably. And then Zephiel, I think he's pretty safe for the most time, as long as Jaffar kind of does his job defending him. And but at some point, if you take too long, there's like a mercenary that gets to him. It's like a mercenary that starts in like the bottom right corner, that starts moving on turn 3. If he gets to Zephiel, he's kind of dead, but usually only faces like one fighter, and just kind of 1v1s him from his pillar, and he's fine. I think if you just kind of copy Donan's moves in most playthroughs, I think you should be able to save all 3 NPCs fairly reliably.
Yeah, like Zephiel has to miss like multiple like displayed 90s in a row to actually have a chance of death, I believe, versus the fighters, because he should just be fine against those guys. The Merc's the only one that can actually do anything dangerous to him.
Yeah, but I still remember there was like a lot of times when I've played this game casually where Zephiel just seemingly out of your control just kind of dies, so I guess that is the mercenary I was just talking about. I don't really have any better explanation. Like, have you ever had Zephiel die?
I think on the first time I played this chapter, but like I haven't actually like finished playthroughs of FE7 a whole lot. Like, honestly, like I've played through the game like
8 half times.
No, not that much. No, I don't know how many times I've played, but I don't really have a lot of experience with Zephyr. It's usually just Nino who dies, and I get annoyed. Basically, that tends to be what happens to me.
That's so unlucky, because Nino has only died for me when she like runs out in Ursula's range. Yeah, and then just like. And I think for Ursula, we should probably talk about like how tough she is as a boss. She uses bolting on people, and that's like annoying. I think Hector can get O-code depending on his stats. Ninian obviously is in danger, but Harken can probably murder her, but he decides not to.
Oh man, he's using a hand axe. He's using a hand axe so he can get an extra hit of weapon EXP on her. That's insane.
Oh, you think that's the reason? That's cute.
Oh wait, no, they're gonna feed him to Bartre? Oh no. Oh no.
So Harken could have just murdered Ursula. We just said, no, I'm just gonna use my hand axe.
Yeah, turns out bolting makes you very easy to kill. It's so easy to kill that even freaking Bartre can kill you.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure... Go ahead.
No, I was like, I wonder if... Oh no, okay.
67 hit, let's go. I love how he turned animations on for this.
Bartre the boss killer.
Yeah, Bartre the boss killer. You have no idea how funny that is. Alright, level 2. Just 3 more of those to go, and then he should be good to go. I just wanted to say that Ursula can actually double with bolting because she's pretty fast, and you can double with bolting in this game. So if Bartre was at the end of his turn in that range, he would probably die. But thankfully, Ninian's dance helped us to avoid that.
Okay, it looks like Marcus has just decided that he's not even going to bother with Maxine.
Yeah, he's like, alright, he's like stuck in that little corridor that's like hidden in the fog, and the way he moved Marcus, he's just never facing Maxine until you want to, which is a lot better. I didn't know you could make it like down there. I guess he never made it to Jaffar with Marcus, so he wasn't really trying. Anyway, he just kind of made it to save the treasure from the thieves, and that's about it.
Yeah, like... Thing is that Maxine doesn't even give you bonus EXP, so he's not even worth killing.
He doesn't have the boss icon, that's right. He's just a promoted enemy, basically, which is super insulting considering how high his stats are.
I think that's probably part of the reason why he doesn't level properly.
Oh yeah.
Because he doesn't have the marker for being a boss, so like you probably accidentally bonus level him basically.
Yeah, that's what I think too. We should mention the treasure before we forget.
Oh yeah.
So we're kind of getting to the treasure rooms now. There's 4 chests in this chapter, and I think this is like the best composition of treasure in the whole game by far. Let me see if I can spell them all out. So I think it's the Delphi Shield, the Boots, the Brave Lance, and the Rescue Staff. I've never seen a collection of 4 items better than that, and obviously we're going to get them all. Donan has some chest keys lying around, I think, still, but he decides to deploy the gold instead for the purpose of getting them.
I just realized something like that I should have mentioned earlier. Yeah. Because obviously we've had like Pent and Priscilla staffing, but like not, usually this is a chapter where people like, use Torch a lot to spam up staff rank, but actually we haven't really deployed anybody to spam Torch much at all. No,
not really. Donna has like plenty of people that could use some staff rank, I guess, but I think at this point we've addressed this a couple times already in the playthrough, but apparently it just needs less staff grinding than you usually see in FE7 LTCs. Like some people grind up like Urk staff rank, Sarah staff rank, who else? I mean, Priscilla kind of, I guess, Lucius, and then Knas.
With Gross, I imagine you have, like, it's more important because like those characters will actually have like higher magic, but like I guess in 0% it's just not that important.
Yeah, true. I think he needs like a big collection of staff users in one chapter later on, and that's about it. But I think for the most part, it's just going to be like Pence doing the heavy lifting with, high rank staffs. Because he's orange with A, and you can use anything you need him to. And there's not that many points in the game where you can actually use the staffs to save time. Like, we're going to have the rescue staff for the next chapter, which is going to be big. It's also going to be big for Cog of Destiny. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of like high rank, high magic staff leveling needed in FE7. It's very different from FE6, for example.
I love how like Jaffar and like Marcus like sort of were creating a choke point. Like, not Marcus, sorry, but Isadora over there. We're like sort of creating a choke point now. Now we've just moved Harken over. It's like, it's almost like he was like working in tandem with our plans the whole time.
Yeah. Speaking of plans, I'm going to mention this just because I'm going to forget to mention it later if I don't. So, Harken has like a specific set of axes he has with him, and he has to grind them down to certain numbers of uses for Cog of Destiny that we're working on. So that includes a 2-use Silver Axe, a 2-use Swordreaver, a 1-use Killer Axe, a 1-use Iron Axe, and that's all he needs for Cog of Destiny, basically. So that's kind of like the Killing Edge that we did a couple chapters ago. If he's using a weapon like that in strange places, that's why. Not the Devil Axe. The Devil Axe is just because Donna is insane.
I hope that's all on one turn. That's going to be insane.
I think it might be, but I'm not entirely sure. Something else I noticed is like he's not letting the thieves get to the treasure and just take the treasure and then drop it from them. I don't know exactly why. I guess he just didn't need to. But I always get like a little paranoid when Marcus is trying to hit the Silver Axe on a thief and he might miss and the thief might take the treasure. Not a big deal, I guess. Also, we have Nino talk to Jaffar to unlock 28x, because that's like a requirement. And I think you also need to do that to unlock Jaffar. Not entirely sure no requirements for that, but that's basically how it works.
Wait, did Marcus just kill that thief with a Silver Axe, or did he use...
Yeah, I think it's the one we're setting up, actually, to get low on uses.
Is that like a Lance Reaver thief that...
No, I think he just has really good skill, Marcus.
Damn.
And, FE7 enemies in a nutshell. I like how that mage is choking the points so that the shaman has to, like, suicide in one range, and it still doesn't interfere with his axe grinding and all. But yeah, there's like one character we haven't really introduced. Technically, Nino joins in this chapter, and she's a unit, but as the archetype in his 0% growth playthrough, low bases and high growth doesn't really work very well together, so...
Although I would say that I think actually for her level, her bases actually are pretty good, but unfortunately that's still not enough to get you anywhere.
Yeah, the level 5 Urk would not match those stats, but obviously he's at a way different point in the game. I guess we should talk about Jaffar as well. I think Jaffar is pretty good for new players because he's so fast and pretty easy to use, but his lack of 1-to range is kind of shitty. But he has like one interesting niche in that he has Silencer. Whenever he crits, he has a 50% chance of getting a 1-hit KO, regardless of his attack power. Could be useful sometimes, but unfortunately not very reliable. Anyway, Priscilla like drops Legold into the dark and is like, oh shit, there's enemies here.
No, that's right. We need to get like the Ursula from the Druid down there, don't we?
Yes. Very fortunately, Priscilla knew that Druid doesn't move, because that guy has Luna and he would just massacre them. At least I believe maybe it's Nosferatu, but either way it's pretty dangerous for 2 unpromoted player units.
Hell yeah, Zephiel secured. 10 turns in.
Objective secured. But yeah, this chapter has like a minimum turn limit of like...
Oh my god, is Bartre going to kill... Oh wait, no, Maxine doesn't get... Well, Maxine's promoted at least, so he's gonna get more EXP. I'm seeing him head over there, I'm like, oh god.
This is why I laughed when you said Bartre boss killer, because he's gonna do another one.
How high is Harken's luck? I mean, I guess that's the why he gave him the goddess icon, so he could use all this damn devil axe.
Oh, you're right. That's probably it, yeah. I mean, you gotta think he's gonna face crit somewhere too, but Devil Axe might be the reason why he's got the goddess icon. Yeah, he might also just be the person who just sees the most combat period after this point in the game. I wish that Harken had like enough speed to double Valkyries in Cog Destiny. Even with that speed that we gave him, he just doesn't reach that point. But he's still pretty strong. But yeah, Bartre, here we come.
Oh no, he's actually having Bartre kill Maxine. That's hilarious.
I love how he just just torture feels Maxime in that place there, just to make sure that we see him coming.
I'm curious as to why he's not opened the chest yet.
I don't think there's a particular reason. I think Legold is on his way there.
Okay.
He's on his way back from the Stealing the Earth Seal. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff you can get away with when the chapter is like, alright, you only have, 15 turns to beat this chapter, and you can't make it any faster. So
yeah, if you kill Ursula, then the reinforcements stop, and then, oh god, 55 hit. The critical hit! The warrior crit! Oh my god, Crash is gonna lose his mind. Crash is gonna lose his mind when he sees that.
The absolute state of FE7. I'm almost sad to see the animations being turned off. Alright, Boots, best item ever. It's actually going to go to a very interesting character next chapter.
I'm saying, like, if we're saying interesting, then I wonder if Priscilla's going to promote and take Boots then. That's what I think.
That's what happens in the Growth playthrough.
Yeah, but she doesn't have enough magic, I think, for
no. Priscilla, I will say Priscilla is going to get more movement in this chapter, next chapter, because he's at level 10.
Oh gosh, we made it. We survived.
Yes, we survived the Battle Before Dawn. And next time, we'll be doing Night of Farewells. Peace out.
Goodbye.